Kyle Larson was supposed to be in Richmond. That was the plan. NASCAR came first, and the Knoxville Nationals would have to wait. But then, in the middle of a 400-lap Cup race, his crew chief gave him information that suddenly changed everything. There was a massive delay in Iowa. The Knoxville Nationals had not even started hot laps, and for the first time all night, Larson had a real chance to make it back. The question was simple. Could he finish the Cup race, get on a plane, fly to Iowa, reach Knoxville in the middle of the night, and still race the biggest sprint car event of his season? Nobody knew the answer yet, but Hendrick Motorsports was already working on a plan. The scheduling problem had existed for almost a year. The 2026 Knoxville Nationals moved 1 week later on the calendar, creating a direct conflict with the NASCAR Cup Series race at Richmond Raceway. Larson had raced the Knoxville Nationals every year since 2016, but this was the first time the event collided with a Cup race. The original plan was straightforward. Larson would focus on Richmond, while Trevor Cannells would take the number 57 Silva Motorsports sprint car, start the event, and park it. The arrangement would still give the team its scheduled appearance and financial payment. Larson had already accepted that reality. He even said it was fine, and that the Knoxville Nationals should not revolve around him. But Larson had another reason to want to make it back. Knoxville was not just another race on his calendar. Earlier in the week, he had already won the Capitani Classic and the Front Row Challenge, then won his Thursday preliminary at Knoxville. Those victories had already generated significant money for Paul Silva's team. Larson has always talked about how much he values racing with Silva and mechanic Trevor Cannells, and the Knoxville Nationals represented one of the biggest opportunities of the year for that operation. Still, the schedule looked impossible. Richmond was supposed to start at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the Knoxville finale normally would have been finished long before Larson could possibly leave Virginia. Then the weather changed the entire equation. Severe storms hit Knoxville, creating a delay of roughly 3 hours. The schedule kept getting pushed back, and suddenly, the impossible trip became possible. Larson was still inside his number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet at Richmond when Cliff Daniels came over the radio. Knoxville had not even started hot laps. There was now a window. Larson's response was short. Knoxville. Daniels told him the team was already working on plans. Larson had spent much of the week accepting that he would miss the race, but now his crew chief and Hendrick Motorsports president Jeff Andrews were trying to find a way to get him there. The resistance was real. Daniels later explained that Larson kept telling him no. He also kept telling Jeff Andrews no. But the team kept working, because they believed that if they could physically get Larson to Knoxville, he could still do something special, and that is exactly what happened next. Larson had started 30th at Richmond, and spent much of the early race struggling. The number 5 Chevrolet even fell 2 laps down before fighting its way back. By the end of the second stage, Larson had recovered to 13th, and eventually he continued climbing through the field. When the checkered flag finally came out, Larson had finished 6th. It was not only a solid recovery from a difficult start, it was the result Hendrick Motorsports needed to finish the first half of the mission. The second half began almost immediately. Larson bypassed the normal media obligations and ran from the number 5 Chevrolet toward a waiting vehicle. A chartered aircraft was ready at Richmond International Airport. At approximately 10:57 p.m. Eastern, the plane departed Virginia and headed toward Iowa. Fans quickly discovered the flight and began tracking it online. The aircraft became one of the most watched flights on the tracking platform, with thousands of people following its progress across the country. Knoxville Raceway even put the live flight tracker on the giant video board at the track. While fans waited for the Nationals to begin, they were watching Larson's plane move closer to Iowa. Around 12:55 a.m., the aircraft landed. Larson still had to get from the airport to Knoxville Raceway. A police escort was waiting, and around 1:15 a.m. Eastern, Larson finally walked through the gate at the racetrack. He had missed hot laps, but he had made it. What had looked impossible only a few hours earlier was now happening in real time. And then came the unbelievable part. Larson started the 50-lap Knoxville Nationals feature from the pole. There was no long preparation session, no fresh hot laps, no normal Saturday routine. He had just finished a 400-lap NASCAR Cup race, hundreds of miles away, and had traveled through the night to get there.